BookTube! This is Breckie from Breckie Writes, and this is Breckie Reads. It's time for my February book haul. Now, my birthday is at the end of this month, so I'm doing my book haul early, so if I get any books for my birthday, I'm doing a separate haul from that. So these are all books that I have purchased for myself in the month of February. The first two books were books I got from Amazon. Now, I don't generally order books from Amazon. I do have an Audible account. I try to buy books from like Barnes & Noble or local indie bookshops, and I do buy a lot of books from a book outlet too. But these two books were books I really wanted to get my hands on, and I had some Amazon points, so I got them. And they are Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. This is the second in the Grisha trilogy, which I desperately needed to get my hands on. And Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. Now, I don't know tons about the plot of this story, but I do know that there are pirates and time travel. And honestly, what more do you need? The next book I picked up from Barnes & Noble, and that is Witches, Salem 1692 by Stacy Schiff. Now, I was supposed to be reading this book this month for a Goodreads group read challenge, but I have epically failed. I've only gotten about 30 pages into this, but so far it's been really, really good. This is an in-depth look at the Salem witch trials and kind of the context surrounding where this mass hysteria came from. And Stacy Schiff writes with this really beautiful, almost novel-esque quality. So this has been a good one, and I picked it up from Barnes & Noble. All the next books come from a huge book outlet order that I made in January, but didn't arrive until February. And the first two from that order are Shadow and Bone and Ruin and Rising. These are the first and third books in the Grisha trilogy. Like I said in my February TBR video, as soon as these arrived, I put down everything else that I was reading and doing to get to them. This is a great epic fantasy series that is all the trappings of an epic series without being sort of your general tropes, and I've just really enjoyed this, and I'm so glad I got these books. Other books that were in that massive book outlet haul, The Diviners by Libba Bray. Now this, I believe, takes place in the 1920s and is sort of a paranormal crime investigation. I believe it's part of a trilogy. I know that there's a sequel. This made the rounds on BookTube last summer, I believe, and I heard a lot of really positive feedback, but then it kind of went away and disappeared from conversation, so it was on sale at Book Outlet, and it looks interesting, so I'm excited to read it and let you guys know. Then I got Uprooted by Naomi Novik. I'm really excited to read this. I know that this is fairy tale-esque, although it's not a general retelling of any specific fairy tale. I know this is about a young woman named Ineska who is sent to live with a wizard for 10 years in order to protect her village, and about her friendships. Other than that, I don't know, so I'm excited to read this. I also got a bind-up of a bunch of books that I read when I was a child, and that is the Dark is Rising series. Now this is by Susan Cooper. These books were published in the late 60s and early 70s, and I read these when I was in middle school, and I remember loving them, but I haven't read them since, and I know nothing about what this series is. The books in this series include Oversea Under Stone, The Dark is Rising, Greenwich, The Grey King, and Silver on the Tree. Now, I remember Oversea Under Stone. Like, I distinctly remember that title and the cover of the book, so I'm excited to reread these. One of my favorite books of all time is Sabriel, and they've re-released the books with a new cover that I don't like. So when Book Outlet had the original covers, even though they're the pocket-size editions of the book, I had to jump and get them. I got the first one, Sabriel, which is standalone. I mean, look at that. Look at that art. I love it. I love this cover. And the sequel, Lirael and Abhorson. I love this trilogy. They follow a family of sorts of Abhorsons who are necromancers that instead of raising the dead, put the dead back to sleep. This is a wonderful high fantasy with an amazing world building and an incredible magic system. The charter magic system is awesome. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit dark without being horror, that has a great high fantasy system and two very kick-ass heroines, the Sabriel Abhorson trilogy is where it's at. And my final books from Book Outlet for this month are The Girl of Fire and Thorn and The Crown of Embers, both by Carson. These are the first two books in a trilogy, and I plan on getting Bitter Kingdom as soon as I can. I might go and splurge and buy it at a bookshop this month. And The Mime Order by Samantha Shannon. Now, I have The Bone Season, which is the first book in this series. I haven't read it yet, but I've heard good things. I heard it's kind of creepy, dystopian. I went ahead and got The Mime Order. I did find out, though, but this is going to be a 7-part series, so it has to be really good. I hope it's really good, otherwise I don't know if I'll commit to 7 books, but I do have the first 2, so I'll let you know how it goes. And those are all the books that I've purchased so far in February. Let me know if you've read any of these, especially if you've read the Mime Order and the Bone Season, or if you've read the Diviners. Those are the 3 books that I think were the biggest risks that I purchased. I kind of went out on a limb, so let me know what you think of them. I'm looking forward to more books. I know I'll be getting some more for my birthday, so I'm excited to see what comes down in the rest of the month. I hope that you all are having a great week, and I will see you later. Bye!